What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. I got a new concept in, and I'm really excited to check this one out with you guys. So let's get it. All right, guys, we got the Tarkin in today. I'm really excited to check this one out. Really interesting build here. Very nice aesthetics, if you ask me. I don't normally love speed holes. It has to be done a certain way, and the design has to really speak to me for me to enjoy the speed holes, and I actually like them on this particular model. Now, there are a couple different versions out here on this one. Let's check them out really quick before we jump into the knife. So we have both with the speed hole and without the speed hole, but I will warn and caution, they do all come with thumb disc. If you're not a disc person, this one's going to be a little bit tougher to swallow for you. You have CPM 20CV, just checking that out now, instead of S35VN. So that is a very interesting change up from Kansept. They generally do S35VN on these. You do have a quarter length back spacer here, titanium. I think it's probably going to vary depending on the variant that you pick up. Again, they do come with and without speed holes, so I do like that about that one. Beautiful sharpening tool on here. Really nice design on that one. Very comfortable ergonomics here. So you got some slight contouring going on behind on the scales here, which make it very comfortable. You got a little bit of jimping here, which makes it nice for choking up. And if you need to, if you got to push through some denser material and need a little bit of a better grip position, still very comfortable. The way that they did the pocket clip here is really nice as well. It's very well chamfered. The pocket clip has plenty of clearance and it goes in and out of the pocket beautifully, guys. It goes in. Great retention, comes out, and it doesn't skip or jump or anything like that. So they do a really nice pocket clip on the Kansepts, all the ones that I've personally experienced. Now, it is a thinner knife, so it does have a little bit more of a thinner design, but they did overcome the lock bar access by giving you a bigger relief cutout, and then they did chamfer it here as well. So very easy to disengage. Beautiful action on this one. It's so smooth on here. I almost wonder... Nah, it's locked up pretty good. If I really wrench on it, I can start to feel it move, but just really well done. So I don't know if this one's just broken in more, if the lock bar access, because it does have the internal relief cut, is just a little bit lighter, but it doesn't feel like it when you're deploying it. Like, it's dialed perfectly for my example. I do like that it has multiple means of deployment. I'm not normally a disc fan, just the aesthetics of it, but this one here, very good placement. The jimping on here is really nice. You can grab it very easily. The reverse flick, just go right underneath the thumb disc and it works well. I also think the placement is really impressive because it is a little bit in the blade's path because the thumb disc is larger, so it comes out to about here where it stops, so you get a little bit in the blade's path, but it's not horrendous or anything offensive, especially for me, because I generally kind of angle back or angle forward a little bit. So that kind of allows you to hit through the material a certain way. And then if I'm using the belly, it's probably angled back, and belly up is usually for getting into stuff anyway. So I really don't think that is an issue. I do think it is clean lines when it does have the lock bar insert on the inside. I do have a Kubi Momentum that had that, and it was a little light on the lock bar as far as the detent tune, and when I disassembled to do the video, I just added a little bit of bend into that lock bar, and it completely corrected the issue for me and made it very crispy and very satisfying to deploy. And this one here, it is really tuned well. This is a nice Gents EDC. As I mentioned, cutting with it, very nice, very good edge, very nice geometry, just absolutely went through the catalog paper fine, went through cardboard really well too. Like, it was a laser beam, guys. The static wash finish is very smooth. So there's absolutely no resistance going through that material. And it is a drop point, but it's a little bit higher. So I would say detailed work and trace cuts. In a pinch, you can do it with this one, but it's not something that's going to specialize or focus on that primarily. It's going to be more EDC, more versatile. It's going to be doing some puncture tests. It's going to be able to do some cutting, and it's going to be able to do some detailed work. I did notice on this one here, it looks like they did a mini Tonto. Like when you get to the edge there, you can kind of sort of see where it's sharpened and it kind of curves up here. For me, if this was my personal knife, I would just, as I hone and sharpen, I will just go straight through that and make it a true drop point. I was a little worried about the drop off here in the back, but it's absolutely not a factor whatsoever. Very comfortable. It does allow you to angle the tip down, and it really helps to kind of trap everything as you're cutting with it. So I was very happy with that. I do feel a little bit of sharpness along here on the ring or the index finger, but it's not like sharp. It's just I can tell there's a difference between the rest here that's chamfered down and right here where that lock bar is. So again, telling the difference versus feeling the difference being the big thing here. Great sounds. I am curious about the weight on this one. I may actually check the website here in a moment to see if they say there's a difference between the one with the speed holes versus the ones without the speed holes. But let's do some size comparisons first, and then we'll grab the scale. All right, guys, here is the Tarkin compared to the Devo Knives Tallboy and the Kunwu Padre. As you can see, it is definitely a full-sized knife. It is a little bit shorter than the two of these, but these are a little bit longer, bigger in comparison. Now, the Padre here has got a little bit more handle because that lanyard post sticks out the back, but I think it's pretty comparable to the Tallboy. Let me do a couple more, and then we'll grab the scale. All right, so we got the QSP Volt here. This one more of a medium-ish EDC, and you can see where the Tarkin's just a little bit longer, and then the Kansept Havorn, which I think it's pretty comparable to. I think the Havorn's got a little bit more length on the blade itself, but very comparable as far as sizes go. Let me grab the scale, and we'll check the weight on this one. All right, so I was checking the website really quick, and unfortunately, Kansept doesn't say what the weight is for either of the versions on the website, so I can't tell you if there's going to be a difference. So keep in mind, there's going to be a difference on a full titanium scale with no speed holes versus one with speed holes. Also, they do list this as a Tonto blade, so it is a very subtle Tonto. I almost missed it initially. So coming in at 4 ounces, I would probably say without the speed holes, this is probably going to be like 4.3, maybe 4.5, somewhere in there. Still a really respectable weight for a full-size knife. And honestly, I think the 4 ounces is really good for a fuller-size titanium knife. Let me move the scale out of the way. We'll go ahead and wrap up with final thoughts and impressions. All right, guys, final thoughts and impressions on the Tarkin. I really like this design a lot. I think it's very well done. I like that it flexes to me almost into a gents carry as far as the aesthetics and the design of it. I would probably go for the flamed Anno without the speed holes. I think that one, having seen it, looks a little bit better. The pocket clip functions very well on here. The lock bar access is good. The action is very, very good. They did a fantastic job on the tune of this one. Very comfortable in hand. It is a thinner profile, so this is going to carry very nicely, which it did. I really like that a lot. This one with the 20 CV, I'll just have to continue to try to test with it to see how it holds up. I didn't see a heat treat listed anywhere on their 20 CV on the website itself. Just a really nice knife all around. Now, I do grade these on a scale of 1 to 10 for 2 reasons. One, so you can get an idea of where I'm at in my head with this one. When I tell you a knife is nice and I like it, where do I really rank it? And then if you've watched other videos, you'll understand how it compares maybe to another knife that you've seen me rank as well. So, is it higher or is it lower, etc. You do get a lot for your money here. Super steel, that's going to hold a really good edge. Titanium, frame lock with a lock bar insert, riding on bearings and on a pocket. You do get a 50% length titanium backspacer, and I just love their pocket clips. If this was thumb studs instead of thumb disc, it would bump it a little for me personally aesthetically, but it's a very thin, subtle disc. It's not awful. Honestly, what I don't like is just the way that it looks from this particular angle. From the front, it's actually a little bit more discreet than a thumb stud is, but I don't know. For some reason, to me, the disc just really isn't my thing. Having said all of that, I do take into consideration price, value for money, how everything's done, fit, finish, performance, geometry for both the edge angle, the way that it comes from the factory for those that may never sharpen it, and the cutting geometry and how it felt when using it and how it performed. And I like a lot about this one here. I'm going to go 7.6 on this one. If it was thumb disc, if it was thumb stud instead of disc, I'd probably be really close up on an 8, almost like 7.8, 7.9. But for me, with the thumb disc, pulling it back just a tiny little bit, again, subjective on my part, landing where I'm landing, I'm happy with the score. I think that speaks very highly of it. This would probably bump the Hinterland down in my top 3, taking over the number 2 spot, with the Havern being number 1 currently, and then after Hinterland would be Fenrir as far as aesthetics and the knives that I like from Kansept. There's a lot of good ones though, so no disrespect to any of the other models, but Kansept does make it tough because they come out with a lot of good designs, and Christensen Matthews did design this one, did a fantastic job. I like it a lot. Let me know what you think about the Tarkin down in the comments below. Do you like this one? Did you pick one up? If so, how has it been for you as far as your user experience? If you enjoyed the video, a like would be appreciated. If you're going to be doing any shopping or thinking about picking this one up, when you use my affiliate links that are in the description, it does help the channel, so thank you if you choose to use them. A special shout out to my channel members. You guys are awesome. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.